Back pain is the most common musculoskeletal injury in America. It accounts for billions in healthcare costs every year. There was a large study done of ski instructors tracking them across their career, looking at the incidence of back pain. The incidence of back pain in these ski instructors was found to be 80%. This is the same as the general population in America. So what we can take from this is the reason that ski instructors have back pain is because they are people. Now, there are things that you can be doing to prevent that back pain that we're going to get into a little bit later. Things like core strengthening, stretching your legs, and good practices on the mountain. But I want to talk about another study that was done, and this was of 13 to 15-year-old high-volume competitive skiers. They took these skiers and put them in an MRI to find out what was going on in their spines, and they did find some signs of early degeneration. Now, this degeneration that they found on the MRIs was comparable with degeneration found in young people in other high-volume competitive sports. This is all to go and say that single sports specialization at a young age is not advantageous for future progression to elite sports. A great example of this is the 2022 NFL playoffs. The 8 last quarterbacks in the playoffs combined to play a total of 24 different sports in high school together. Most of the quarterbacks played 3 sports. One of them was a 2-sport athlete, and one of them was a 4-sport athlete. Participating in multiple sports as a child makes you a more well-rounded athlete with better muscle balance and may help you to become elite in one sport later in life, but one sport specialization is not recommended before 16 years of age. But these young skiers that they tracked, with the increased degeneration in their spine, they followed them over the years. And so far, this degeneration in their spines has not been proven to result in an increase in low back pain. But this is consistent with what we know about the total population. There's a famous study that was performed where they took 3,000 people without any back pain at all. These people were asymptomatic, and they took MRIs of their spine. And what they found is that by our 20s, about 1/3 of us with no back pain at all have signs of disc degeneration, disc bulges, and the beginnings of arthritis. By the time we're into our 40s, 2/3 of us have disc degeneration, half of us have disc bulges. And by the time we're 70 or 80, people with no back pain, almost all of them have findings on their MRIs. In our society, we think that something is broken in our body and that's what causes pain. And therefore we need to fix that thing to get out of pain. But that's just not right. And looking at this chart, this is from a study where they looked at all the literature on low back pain and found all the causes of low back pain that have been demonstrated in the research. They made a chart, and only the small orange dots are the ones that come from physical problems like disc bulges, arthritis, and general degeneration in the spine. All these others are more complicated things like psychosocial issues, family histories of back pain, flexibility, biomechanics, and posture, things that can be addressed that are not related to a broken physical piece in our body. There was a report that came out earlier this year looking at the cost effects of seeing a physical therapist versus going with other interventions first. On average, each case of low back pain saved $4,000 by seeing a physical therapist first. And this is because when you have a routine case of low back pain, we're not talking about a ski crash here, but you lift something or you sleep the wrong way or your back just hurts off and on. Imaging is not indicated right away. So these costs are saved by not having imaging immediately, not progressing to injections too quickly, and not going on to surgery, but curing your back pain through exercise and addressing some of these other issues that can be causes of low back pain. In this study, they also looked at carpal tunnel for the same reasons. $40,000 on average per case was saved by seeing a physical therapist first, $14,000 with knee arthritis, and almost $11,000 with tennis elbow. Just to hammer this point home that a physical injury is not all that there is to having pain, I think rotator cuff tears and Achilles tendon ruptures are great examples. In massive rotator cuff tears, about 50% of people can return to all their activities and function without surgery. And an Achilles tendon rupture, which is a huge tendon on the back of your ankle, that when it rips in half, your calf rolls up into the back of your leg. One would think that a surgeon would have to go in there and repair that for you to return to all your sports. We're lucky enough here in the Roaring Fork Valley to have a surgeon who's been pushing the non-surgical approach. And as those around us recover without surgery, and as the research amounts on it, we're finding that a non-surgical recovery through immobilization and then progressive flexibility training and strengthening has similar outcomes to those achieved through surgery.